WAOH is brought to you in part by Ohio's #1 trusted real estate team, The Young Team. Online at theyoungteam.com.
Today I'm hanging out with Brandy Gleason. She is from Ohio Road Trips, Gleason Family Adventures. She's all over the place. How are you today, Brandy?
I am so great. Thanks for having me again.
Yes, of course. Love having you. And we are talking about beating the heat this summer because it's gotten super hot here in Ohio. So I want to talk about your summer of soft serve first. And I want you to share some of your favorite Ohio soft serve places for people to visit.
Awesome. So, we're in the dog days of summer. It's a little bit hot this time of year. So one day we were coming back from Lake Erie. We'd been fishing and we were a little hot and we drove by this place called Frosty Frog. It's in Castilia, Ohio. And I said, let's just do a soft serve of summer. And it was crazy. So we got out. I told the people, can I take your picture when you hand me this ice cream cone? Because I just want people to really see the size of this ice cream cone. They were like, okay. She handed that ice cream cone out and it began a journey of putting on the brakes and stopping for ice cream. So Frosty Frog in Castilia. I've been to 5 Points in Butler, Ohio. And Clay's Drive-In, which is close to Piedmont Lake. And Little E's is an ice cream truck in Plain City, and it is a fan favorite.
I love that idea. Way back before I had kids, so like a long time ago, we won't say how many years, I did a summer of lemonades. Everywhere that I could stop to get like a homemade lemonade, and it was so much fun. So I love that you're doing a soft serve summer. That's so fun.
Super fun. And thank God I'm training for the nationwide children's half marathon because at least I'm running off some of those calories.
Absolutely. That sounds good. Okay. I want you to tell us a little bit about water parks because we're trying to beat the heat. My kids love a water park. Share with us where we could go.
All right. So I'm going to start with a little known one called Baylor Beach. It's just north of Berlin, Ohio. It's in Ohio's Amish country. It's actually a lake. You can camp. You can go in. It's just a little different. It's not your high-end super thrill seeker, but just a really family-friendly place to go. Of course, there's Cedar Point's water park. There's Kings Island's water park. In Columbus, there's Zumbizi Bay. And you don't have to go to the zoo. You can just go to the water park that's connected to the Columbus Zoo. And I think we could lean into splash pads on this one. Do you mind?
I was just going to say that because, sometimes we need something free too. And most of the time those water parks are, you got to pay to get in, which is, they deserve the money. They're putting on a big show for us there. But splash pads are something free for families, which, I love a freebie.
Oh, I'm all about freebies. So I have 8 children. They're all grown up, but I remember always looking for the things that didn't cost. And splash pads in your local community, great way to cool down. There's usually a food truck nearby sometimes when you're at a splash pad because they're kind of centralized within the city that you're in. So free, great things to do, open until dusk, usually from dawn to dusk. So you can just take your kids. The best time to go, even if your kids are a little grumpy, take them over nap time because most people take their kids home and you'll have the splash pad to yourself.
That's a really good tip. I love that one. Okay, so what if we don't want to be outside? Maybe it's like 100 degrees and we need some indoor activities to beat the heat. What do you recommend?
Well, there's quite a few. So I tried to go through each of the major cities. So you can go to Toledo for the National Great Lakes Museum. They actually also have an outdoor ship that you can go through, and there's a tugboat. In Columbus, there's COSI, which is a science center. Right now, there's a Star Wars exhibit going on. So not only are you beating the heat, but you can get that Star Wars lover something to check off the list. Down in Cincinnati, I can highly recommend the Newport Aquarium. It's a little pricey, but worth every penny. Make sure the kids don't run through it. And if you want to, go through twice to make sure you've gotten your dollar's worth. But you can just take your time and enjoy seeing all the great sea life that we don't get to see in Ohio.
Yeah, and I remember, I actually lived near there, and I remember it's a really big, beautiful aquarium. So if you're looking for something a little more, we love our Cleveland Aquarium, but it's smaller. If you're looking for something a little bigger to head just down the road to Cincinnati a few hours, then you get to go to that. So some children's museums as well.
Yeah, so I want to lean into some that are a little closer to Akron this time. So Oh Wow is in Youngstown. They have a great water space where the kids can play in the water. There's an airplane they can kind of go in and out of. Great space for them to just not be hot, play inside. The AC is great. And I don't know if you know about it, but the Akron Children's Museum, it is ADA compliant. It is a great space for little kids. I was shocked when I saw it. You can pretend you're a vet. There's doctor spaces. There's a light bright. They have this tube where you can put a piece of fabric in and it shoots through the tube and blows out at them. They will spend hours there. It's one of my favorite that I've found in the state.
Yes, we do love the Akron Children's Museum. They were actually on the show a few weeks back, and we're just chatting about some of the new things coming up. I know they're going to create a water space here soon, again, in Akron, because they had to renovate their other water space that they had. So we love that space as well. I love how every time that you come on the show, you bring life to an area of even, our country that I wouldn't have thought of visiting. So you said about 14 hours away, we can take a little road trip to
Nebraska. I know.
Nebraska.
Going on vacation in Nebraska, right? You don't really think about it. But I went to a conference there just recently and found out there's something called tanking.
And you had to share with me what this is, because I would have not known.
Yeah, so tanking is you literally get in a tank that they feed animals in, kind of a stainless steel tank, and you go down. It's in North Platte, Nebraska, and you spend the day just tanking down the river. I was like, are you kidding me? I had no idea.
So similar to like canoeing, but you're in a tank instead.
Yeah, and it's something I've never seen in Ohio or actually anywhere else that I've ever been. And so Nebraska used to have a slogan, Nebraska, it's not for everyone. They kind of changed it around, but it's true. You don't expect Nebraska to be a place where you can go, but it's one of those vacations when you come home and you don't need another vacation because you really enjoyed your trip, you unplugged. It's not really super rushed. It's just a really unique state to go to. And if you don't want to go tanking, you could go to Omaha. One of my favorite museums is there. It's called the Durham, and there's an indoor soda fountain just filled with tons of history. So Nebraska is a little Midwest hidden gem.
I love that. And people want to get away and they might want something new. Maybe they don't want to head to the beach this year. I love that you're bringing out Nebraska as a place that they could go visit. That's so much fun. Yeah. Great ways to beat the heat. Love all these ideas. I'm going to get soft serve. We're going to go to a water park. We're going to beat the heat in lots of different ways this summer with my kids. And I'm sure everybody watching will want to do the same. Thank you, Brandy.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you guys so much for watching here on Good Morning Akron. Of course, we had a great show and we've got more great stuff coming up next.